we do have a lovely 1010 portal coming up. So I must be feeling the energies, but this is for any of those of you who look to channeled guidance with your energies and your awakening and your expansion. And that's where I am, Maria, 5D Mystic, Enlightenment Soul Age Group. It's a functional adult, optimized human being version, that's all. Left-right mode of our brain. Anybody who doesn't know, I'm not sure how I'm going to title this, but I do know that you've been able to let go of whatever stories 4D land has given you. And that's because the stories are great and dandy, but that's what they are. A brain that works knows a story and a data point. And as I shared in a couple of the episodes for today that are more integrating this human stuff, psych stuff, and how we are all human babies. Again, this one's going to be a little bit more with my mystic community. And so spiritual and spirituality, we love Sadhguru and we love our metaphysics esotericism community. However, they don't really do justice to the relationship with this sphere of energy. And it's unfortunate that we do have people who definitely have no idea about the physics of the consciousness sphere. So I'm talking about those who are consistently in the illusion that we are going through what they will have defined as the apocalypse stuff. And it is unfortunate. I learned about it because I did read a little bit of something during catechism. And I wasn't unfortunate. I was fortunate. And I met people who brought to me the word, the actual loving, compassionate, kind words of that which I to this day have respect for, which is why I choose to omit and not engage in conversation. While 4D land talks about them being witches and having been, the witch hunt stuff. So they go off on these stories. I've seen people talk about their Viking times. It's very beautiful to see people connect to their past lives. I've connected to mine. Many of them, actually. Very fascinating. I also know them with other people that I physically know. So it is a beautiful, beautiful experience to have clairs, but the 5D way, because we don't dissociate in a way that basically says, here's who I am from my past life. We also don't disregard it, because this is where when I learn from Sadhguru, I respect Sadhguru and I will always use him as the spirituality person. He is the spirituality guru of the time. And as he shares in many of his conversations, he tells people to disregard their past lives or declares, and I understand why he does what he does. Oh, and on that note, I had noticed a little bit of something off of videos that post and use him. And I would like any person, new or not, to remember that artificial intelligence does get used. I don't know why. And I know 4D has all of their ideas of agendas. And for all we know, there are people that are 4D. They have an agenda. But they create fake videos and they take videos. For all I know, one day, unfortunately, I might be in that. So just keep an eye out. There are ways you can notice it, but it's really something that you would need to be conscious of. I'm an adult, so for me it's easier, and I should say it's not about being an adult. I'm an independent thinker. So if I'm watching Sadhguru or whoever it is, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's the law. I don't do silverbacks. 5D don't do silverbacks. We don't have the need of any leader like that, because we know that empirical data builds in time. We know that systems and institutions need to work together and they need to build in time, whatever they're going to do. We don't like it always, but it doesn't always have to be some conspiracy. And even if there's stuff behind the doors, sooner or later, all lies come forth. So we're not really concerned with any of the breadcrumb trails that people in 4D, 3D, or just people in general. I did political science. And that's my major as a bachelor's, and then my master's is in international relations and diplomacy. What I can tell you about the system is I was very disappointed to see that I don't have what I consider leaders. So I'm like, I'm not going to help people through those institutions. I'm going to do it my way because I have a lot more truth to share than what they're doing. And then when I think of people who are politicians throwing chairs at each other, I'm like, yeah, sounds like a bar fight to me. And you want to be called leader? I'm going to say I'm happy to see my colleagues doing things like we need to present some sort of either quiz or, evaluation, yes, please. I look forward to mental health evaluation, a lot of it. So I'm in favor of all of regulation because I don't see compassionate leaders. 5D wants to see compassion, not the silverback. So I know some people think we want silverbacks. The smart people, we actually are intellectually and emotionally intelligent. And therefore, when you're trying to use your words, and that's not you, we all do it. Some of us don't do it in an effort to be malevolent, I think is a word. Yeah, we just try to figure out what's the best way to talk to you. So when people have said, hey, you do word gymnastics. No, I am trying to use my words because I'm a creator. One, I love using words, and no, not like a dictionary because I'm not a stickler like that. But that is where everybody has their cup of tea with conversation. So some of us, 5D, we love to just enjoy each other. We share joy. We're not trying to prove points or trying to prove ourselves. That's for the adaptive children. If they learn about that charge, like here, it's like, I don't know. They'll learn like, wait a minute, why am I doing it this way? I don't need to prove. Am I proving? These are only subjective thoughts that are going on. So with our clairs, it's the same thing. We share with people our clairs. And when they make fun of us or they insult us, it's okay. It's very fun to know that people could be scared of a 4'9" person. No, it's not fun. Now I'm beginning to maybe register like, wow, wait a minute. This is a real deal. Like some people can actually be afraid of me. Like I laughed inside, and any person who knows me knows that I won't even like flick a fly. You know what? I'm going to do storytelling because this is one of the most amazing stories that ever happened to me. So we got 4 minutes. So I went out with a friend of mine, a couple. They're a couple. But these are friends that are friends, but they don't know how my brain works. So they don't actually get me. I have other friends, they get me. And when they see that I'm struggling, because they'll notice that I'm not following along, they'll be like, hey, Maria, this is what they mean. And I'll be like, oh, okay. Okay, so these people don't know how my brain works, but furthermore, they like to gossip. So it's that kind of group. So they were already the entire night. The entire group were gossiping about colleagues, co-workers. I'm like, wow, this is really shitty. Like you're all grown-ups gossiping about your colleagues. What the hell? And my friend who likes to create a little bit of drama. It hadn't been the first time. In fact, I already knew. So here's what smart people know about friends. We're all different, and some have insecurities. Yes, actually, excuse me. This is all days of a secure attachment person, every day of my life. Emotional maturity, yep, spotted it. Here's what I'm going to do. Nothing, zero, nada. I learned to be quiet, nod my head. 2-year-old don't see shit because a 2-year-old's too busy in their own. So they're driven by their own stuff. There's only one human being on the face of this planet that ever actually addressed me, and it was with respect, and it was with true interest. And I said, I'm not sure you want to know my opinion. So are you sure about what you're telling me right now? And we were the best of buds and intellectually have just mind-blowing and amazing experiences because that's what people who are grown-ups do. They question and they share joy. So in this situation, I get asked a question about the full moon. My 5D mystics, we already had one, right? And this person brought it up in a way, and I knew this was not the context. I've known a lot of times 4D people love to shine their little magic wands. I'm like, we're not magic. We're actually scary to people. So please don't make it into a little uncomfortable situation. It's unnecessary. And long story short, in the last minute, so this full moon ended up where I said, I don't judge people. This human being could not fathom that I did not judge people. And she just started to drill me with questions. And I didn't know what she was doing until the end of the conversation where she says, well, I guess we just wasted our time because we disagree. And I said, no, it wasn't a waste of time for me. I got your perspective, and that's a gift because I don't have your perspective. So I would never have known that you think that way or that the way you think. And here's the deal. It's genuine because we don't share the same subjective experience. What also, though, is genuine is me knowing that this person had an issue with me and was being a pain in my ass. And what I ended up finding out later on is they all got to gossip about this and have fun. Oh, and they thought that I said that I wouldn't send people to prison. And I'm like, I'm nobody. Why would that even cross your mind? What is wrong with you? Like, seriously? So long story short, sometimes people can be scared of tiny people who mean nothing because of words. That's how some people do things.